Good evening, my dear student. Yesterday we discussed about the session 2 free electron theory of metals to explain the expression for electrical conductivity of the metal, how to express the free electron theory to conduct the electrical conductivity on the basis of Ohm's law and thermal conductivity and debase temperature and inversely proportional to the pressures, to explain the drawbacks of the free electron theory, and main important, we have to derive the expression for electrical conductivity to using the Ohm's law. Then we conduct the material to getting the sigma is equal to n e square lambda u divided by 6 kBT. This is expression for the electrical conductivity of free electron theory of metals. Now today we will discuss about the session 3, same topic, free electron theory. It is also very important of the solid state physics in the case of free electron theory, that is expression for the thermal conductivity. The thermal conductivity, we know that we have symbol is denoted by the K, and electrical conductivity of the symbol is denoted by sigma. So thermal conductivity, we have already says that success of the free electron theory, which is use the thermoionic and thermoelectricity of the materials to use the free electrons. So thermal conductivity, which is also comes to the same drawback of the thermal effect. So in the cases of thermal conductivity, which is used in thermoelectricity and the laws of intermediate metals and laws of intermediate conductivity, so use the laws of thermoelectricity. So we have take the thermal conductivity in the cases of free electron, how to define and how to get the expressions to use a single metal rod. So we have to see that this is a cylindrical metal rod and there is a two ends. The first one end is A and second one end is B. We have defined or we denoted by the upper jaw. And the second, in the case the end A point of the temperature T1, that is a flow of heat, that is a higher temperature, we have defined the T1, and the define the T2 is lower temperature. So in the constructions in the C, we have to define center of the material which flows through the heat from the temperature T1 to the T2, and the distance between the A to C and C to B, which is defined as wavelength, that is the lambda, and the mean bandwidth is to total, that is 2 lambda. So we have take the on the basis of diagram the conductor or metal rods to has two ends A and B, and the same temperature T1, that is a higher temperature, and the temperature T2 is lower temperature. The direction of flow of heat from T1 to T2, and the cases the metal rod or conductors which conducts the current and using the heat flows through the conductors. So using the formula, so we get the Q is equal to 1 divided by 3 nu lambda dE divided by dt. So we get the expression 1. So where dE divided by dt is the rate of change of energy of free electrons, and lambda is mean free path, that is the wavelength, that is the distance of the peak to center of value of conductors, and u is defined as velocity, and n is the concentration of electrons. Same we have to say that consider a metallic rod, and the end A is a higher temperature T1 and end B is to lower temperature T2. Now the conduction takes place from the end A to end B. It can be shown that the net quantity of heat conducted through unit cross-sectional area in unit time is given by the equations becomes Q is equal to N U lambda dE divided by dt. We have says that all the dE divided by dt is rate of change of energy of free electrons, lambda is the mean free path, U is the velocity, and N is the concentration of electron. And this is the equation number 1. And from the kinetic theory of gases, we have know that kinetic theory of gases already in the electrical conductivity. That is, kinetic energy is equal to half mu square, and half mu square is equivalent to of the kinetic theory of gases. We have to define the 3/2 kb into T. That is, we have take the kinetic energy of the gases. So we have take the 3/2 kBT is the kinetic theory of the gases to take the equation number 2. We have to see the equation number 2, that is E is equal to 3/2 kB into T. And where kB is the Boltzmann's constant, you know that, and T is the absolute temperature. Now differentiating equation 2 with respect to T, and now taking the equation 2 we get the differentiating to get the equation 3, that is differentiation of equation number 2. E is differentiating dE divided by dt is equal to 3/2 is a constant, kb is also constant, and differentiate with respect to t. So we have taken the capital T is differentiate to we will getting the dt divided by small dt. That is equation number 3. And now equation 1, you know that, that is Q is equal to 1/3 nu lambda into dE divided by dt. So we have take substitute dE divided by dt in equation 1. So we have taken the equation 1 is equal to Q. Q is equal to 1/3 nu lambda, and dE divided by dt is getting the equation number 3. What is getting the 3/2 kb into capital dt divided by small dt. And we get the equations 1/3 nu lambda, 3/2 kb into dt divided by dt. So we have consider the equations will be manufactured. So in the cases the 3 will be get cancelled, so only can left the 1/2, and 1/2 n u lambda is same and kb is same and dt divided by dt. Then the equation number 4 we getting the Q is equal to 1/2 nu lambda kb into dt divided by dt. So in the cases the heat flowing through the conductors of the from A to B, then the cases the coefficient of thermal conductivity becomes K is defined as. So in the cases this is the constant of the coefficient of thermal conductivity of metal. So we have taken the K is equal to 1/2 nu lambda into kb. So we have defined in the cases the whole process we have take the constant. So we have taken the equation number 5 is Q is equal to capital K into dt divided by small dt. So we have defined the where K is the coefficient of thermal conductivity of a metal. So we have taken the K is the constant of the thermal conductivity of the metals. So we are getting the equation 5. Now equation 5 and equation 4, that is equation 4 and equation 5, where Q is equal to K into dt divided by dt, where Q we have substitute the equation K into dt divided by dt, substitute the equation, then we get the thermal conductivity of the metals to of the expression. So we have take the equation 4 and 5. Equation 4 is Q is equal to, we have to know that already, Q is equal to 1/2 nu lambda kb into dt divided by small dt. So another one, equation number 5 is equal to Q is equal to K into dt divided by dt. So where Q value we have substitute Q is equal to K divided by dt divided by small dt. So substitute the Ke into capital DT divided by dt is equal to 1 by 2 nu lambda Kb into dt divided by dt. Then dt divided by dt divided by dt will be get cancelled. So in the cases we left the equation K is equal to 1 by 2 nu lambda Kb, where n is number of electrons, u is velocity, lambda is mean free path, Kb is the Boltzmann constant, and K is the thermal conductivity of the metals. So this is the expression for the thermal conductivity of the material in the cases of free electrons theory. This is also important of the free electrons theory of the success in the cases to explain the electrical conductivity and thermal conductivity. So next we have discussed the relations. What is the relations? How to electrical conductivity and the thermal conductivity, which is approve the free electrons theory. Then the two equations or two statement will be through the free electrons theory using the Weidmann-French to getting the some one law that is known as Weidmann-French law. So which is defined also in the cases which is a help of the thermal conductivity and electrical conductivity. So we have to take on the statement of the Weidmann-French law is also it is the ratio of the thermal conductivity to the electrical conductivity and is a constant for the all metals. Same. So we have already told that it is a ratio thermal conductivity K and electrical conductivity sigma is equal to at the constant L into T. So we have derived the equations. Next theory. So we have to know that K divided by sigma is equal to L into T, where K is a thermal conductivity, sigma is a electrical conductivity, L is a Lorentz constant, that is a T is a absolute temperature. So where L is cancels a Lorentz constant value 2.44 into 10 raised to minus 8 watt ohm per kilo. So we have taken the value is a constant value. So we have told that K divided by sigma is directly proportional to the absolute temperature, which is also defined the Weidmann-French law. Weidmann-French law, it is a ratio of thermal conductivity to the electrical conductivity and is a constant for all metals, and as well as ratio of the thermal conductivity and electrical conductivity is directly proportional to the absolute temperature. Though these are the two statements will be defined the Weidmann-French law. We have to see K is a material conductivity, sigma is the electrical conductivity, L is a Lorentz number, and T is a temperature. So which is a statement of the Weidmann-French law. And how to getting the thermal conductivity and electrical conductivity, which are both the ratio of the Weidmann-French law will be defined. So we have to see the expression for the Weidmann-French law. And where it is getting, we have said that already, expression for the electrical conductivity and thermal conductivity. We know that the equations. We know the equations. The first one, we know the equations. K is equal to 1 by 2 nu lambda Kb. This is K is defined as thermal conductivity. Okay, and the second one, ratio sigma is equal to Ne square lambda u divided by 6 kBt, that is defined as electrical conductivity. These are the two equations, thermal conductivity and electrical conductivity. So therefore K divided by sigma, substitute the equation thermal conductivity first, 1 by 2 nu lambda Kb divided by electrical conductivity equations Ne square lambda u divided by 6 kB T. So divided by K value and sigma value will be substitute, and then cases the 6 kBt is uppermost will become, so denominator to numerator, so 1 by 2 nu lambda Kb the thermal conductivity, and 6 kBt is comes to the upper side, so into 6 kBt divided by Ne square lambda u, and the next one the cancellations will be proceed, 2 ones are 2 3s are, so we getting the only 3. And next one n get cancel, and next one u get cancel, and next one lambda get cancel. Only left the kb into e square. So we left the kb divided by e whole square, and only left the temperature T. So we have take the equations 3 kb square divided by e square into T. So we have to take the equations 3 into kb divided by e into whole square into T, where L is defined is equal to Lorentz constant. So Lorentz constant is defined the 3 into kb divided by e into whole square through substitute the Boltzmann constant value and charge of electrons to getting the value is 2.44. So already know the expression for statement of the Weidmann-French law. So we substitute the equations where 3 kb divided by e whole square into T, where L is defined as the Lorentz constant. So k divided by sigma is equal to L into T. So k divided by sigma is directly proportional to the temperature. So it is known as the Weidmann-French law, and it is the ratio of the thermal conductivity to the electrical conductivity to getting the directly proportional to the absolute temperature, so which is known as the Weidmann-French law. This is also important of the free electrons theory to explain or success of the Weidmann to getting the electrons flows through the circuit or conductor using the electrical conductivity and thermal conductivity. And the last we discuss about the drawbacks of classical free electron theory, where it is used or where it is not used. So we have means failure of the free electrons theory will be there, because I am told that in the earlier classes drawbacks will be there and success will be there. The drawbacks we have see the first one classes already, which obeys the Ohm's law and which is prove the electrical and thermal conductivity, and which obeys the diffraction pattern and the semiconductor and thermoionic and thermoelectricity, photoelectric effect, so etc., which is used or success of the explain of the free electron theory. But the failure where it is failure or drawbacks of the classical free electron theory, to discuss about it. The first one we have already told that is it is a macroscopic theory. There is a domains will be there, the domains which conducts the two types domains, that is microscopic and macroscopic. So micro means small particles using the microscopic screw gauge, microscopic vernier calipers, so use the diffraction pattern, so that is not used free electron theory. So it is the macroscopic theory, it is a big size of the elements will be used, so which is the drawback important, which is the macroscopic theory. And the second one, according to classical free electron theory, all the free electrons will absorb energy, but the quantum free electron theory states that only few electrons will absorb energy, which is the failure of the free electron theory. Classical theory will said all the electrons will be absorbing the energies, but the quantum of the free electrons will says some electrons will be absorbed, so which is the failures on the both cases. And the third one, this theory cannot explain the Compton effect, photoelectric effect, paramagnetism and ferromagnetism, etc. Some of the cases quantum theory class, quantum mechanics or quantum classes that explain the scientist, so there is no use or cannot explain the Compton effect and photoelectric effect and paramagnetism and ferromagnetism, because this the condition the high electrons will be flowing, so which is does not exist, so which is says that which are cannot be explained that. And the next one, this theory cannot explain the electrical conductivity of semiconductors and insulators. The free electrons theory, which is main important, does not explain the electrical conductivity of semiconductors and insulators, and dual nature of light radiation cannot be explained. The theoretical and experimental values of specific heat and electronic specific heat are not matched. The Lagrange number obtained by classical theory does not have good agreement with experimental value and theoretical value. It is rectified by quantum theory. It's both drawbacks of the classical free electron theory, because these cases which works on the quantum theory. So free electron theory which is works in the cases of semiconductors as well as quantum as well as spectroscopy as well as radiations, so which is used in the many different variations or values, so which is used in the cases of free electron theory of metals only to produce the sum of the values or not exact, only determines the nearly value to find out the free electron theory in the cases of electrical conductivity and thermal conductivity. Only classical theory of the material which does not getting explain the semiconductor as well as insulators and dual nature also. In the cases the theoretical and experimental values of the specific heat and electronic specific heat are not matched. In the cases heat and specific heat experiment doing the theoretical as well as practically, there is a not used or not matched, so which is not good for the experimental method. So same as it is, the Lagrange number will be says that is a 2.44, which is also not good for the calculation for the experimental method. So mainly we have to require for the quantum theory. These are the drawbacks of the classical free electron theories. So these important of the classical drawbacks, so it is a macroscopic theory and the energy absorbing conditions and some important chapters or topics which does not existing, and some important semiconductor radiations and experimental and theoretical values as well as, and which is used only quantum theories. These are drawbacks of the classical theory of free electrons theory. And now these are the main important of free electrons theory. So first of all, we know that the expression for first sessions using the free electron theory, where which is used or where which is not used, and basic concept is free electron theory of the solid state physics first session, and the second section expression for the electrical conductivity, and the third session's expression for the thermal conductivity and Weidmann fringe law, expression for the Weidmann fringe law, drawbacks of classical free electron theory, and some important definitions. We know that electrical conductivity and thermal conductivity. The electrical conductivity is defined as the quantity of electricity flowing per unit area per unit time at a constant potential gradient, and thermal conductivity is defined as the amount of heat flowing through an unit area per unit temperature gradient. We have to see the already definitions, some important definitions we need for the useful of the definitions. So we have told that the definitions electrical conductivity and thermal conductivity. So this is the theory of the free electrons metals. So this is the last class of the free electron theory. This is only left of the classical free electron theory, and electrical conductivity of free electrons, thermal conductivity and failure of free electron theory. This concept only introduce the solid state physics for the cases of your semester. So next we will discuss about the very important, we all know that is the semiconductor. Very important, you have studied earlier classes also. So next class discuss about the semiconductor. Okay. Thank you, one and all.